Hello everybody, this is Alex of Hardcoring Guides, being my guide for Transformers Devastation on Prime difficulty. Today we're doing Chapter 5 entitled To Cybertron. Real quick, I'm not sure exactly how well the syncing of the videos has been going. It looks like it's somewhat at times it looks like it's somewhat off. So I do apologize if for some reason these videos are off by like a second or even, I don't know, a whole ass minute. I doubt it. Right now we're fighting, of course, Starscream. We just took it. We just hit him. Let me try and see if I can find out if I'm actually synced up. Dodge, hit. Okay. That's for me to figure out later when I'm doing editing stuff. Make sure that we're on track here. Technically, I probably should just figure out a new way to sync stuff up, but I have this new, like, 5-second thing that I like to do, where I'll have the video, the actual media player video, and I'll wait, like, 5 seconds for it to just go through. But I'll wait 5 seconds in Elgato, or whatever I'm recording with, and then I'll use that 5 seconds in video, record it that way, but then I go put in my editing tool, and it's just like, I go to the 5-second mark to split it, and it doesn't look like it starts in the right spot. It's really weird. I don't know, maybe I'm, going nuts. Anyway, Starscream actually took me a lot longer to fight in this particular fight than I thought he actually would have. Yeah, I don't know what it was about this, but he just, for some reason, I was having so much trouble dealing with him. Also, so I think in the last video, I believe it was chapter 4 or 3, I talked about this. I talked about, like, the potential chance of doing... Is this even chapter 5? Yeah, this is 5. What am I talking about? The potential chance of, like, in the future, like, say, when I eventually get done with the Transformers guide, would I ever continue to do Transformers Devastation in the future? And, yeah, there's always a possibility. I'm not going to say that that can't happen. And I was talking about SS ranks, right? I was talking about getting those. Well, for the longest time, I had an idea of how you're supposed to do it, but I wasn't exactly 100% certain on exactly what you needed to do it. I thought you needed to do all the side missions and stuff to get it. I thought you needed all this other stuff and yada, yada, yada. But from what I understand, because, like, it's based on a point system, and I knew that stuns and vehicle attacks and combo and damage relation and time were a factor in it. I just didn't know how big of a factor it was, because, like, for a game like Metal Gear Rising, for example, taking no damage in Metal Gear Rising basically just nets you a free S rank 90% of the time. So it's like, at that point, you would think that'd be the same thing for this game, but unfortunately not. You have to stack up vehicle attacks, and you have to stack up, stuns and what have you, which, if I'm not mistaken, I would guess that Energon weapons would theoretically give you the stun, along with loudspeaker, of course. There was a person I watched do it, and they were using loudspeaker, but with a recharge tech, so they got ammo recharged, coming back, or whatever. So I'm not sure if I actually have that tech on hand at all. I don't even really know. If I did, great, then I can use that to my advantage, but still. And then somebody mentioned in the comments, they're like, oh, I didn't know you had, like, do you have to do the side missions? And the guy responded with, no, not really. So, I don't know. And he was also using Bumblebee and doing the double vehicle attack thing that Bumblebee has, which is great. Which, honestly, now that I really think about it, I would argue that Bumblebee is probably the best character in the entire game, along with Grimlock to an extent. Grimlock, for me, is like a good second place now, because I don't really know what it is, but he just has such good shit that he can do that we'll explain it, I'm sure, when we get to Grimlock's campaign. I'll probably explain it more in detail, hopefully. But just to kind of give, like, a little bit of an idea right now. So when he's in his dino form, if you dodge and hold down triangle, he'll do like a slam move that can break shields. Which, I believe that uppercuts in this game can do that as well. However, his move in particular has a AoE effect to it. So, in my opinion, that nets him, like, higher up there on the tier list of, like, wow, he's pretty damn good. Also, the Blitzwing fight, for those that actually want obvious advice or whatever, you're just going to have to hit him a few times, go for a loudspeaker, hit him a few times, go for a loudspeaker. Just keep doing that type of combo over and over again, and eventually they'll just wear down thin. And when the ground soldiers spawn in, just focus on them, kick their asses. Don't worry too much about what Blitzwing's doing in the background. Just keep him on screen, try to make sure that you see where he's at, and then, go for what you can. You could always save your overdrive for this part of the fight if you want to go to the ground soldiers that way, and not have to deal with, the first wave, or whichever the case may be. Also, did we pass by any... No, I think Chapter 6 has it, right? Well, I think Chapter 6 is the bridge. We did the bridge. I don't fucking know anymore, man. There's, like, this one part we have to grab, like, Cybertronian energy bricks and throw them at a spot. And I think that's Chapter 6 that we do that in? Not really sure. Yeah, I don't remember. Also, for those that might not be aware, Loudspeaker does have the ability to untransform somebody. And look, right there, I got an SS rank without really even trying, and I think it may, even though I took a lot of damage, I was still able to get the SS rank, and I think maybe it comes from the fact that either... No, I think it came from, like, the stuns and vehicle attacks, because, like, the more vehicle... Because you can stack those, as far as I'm aware. I don't think there's any degree of, like, a cap on any of the point system at all, so... Realistically, what you want to do is you want to do that way. And from what I understand, it's better to play on Prime, which makes a lot more sense now that I think about it. It's better to play on Prime mode because of the simple fact that you'll earn more points because enemies take more damage, or, they're a lot more, tanky. So you're able to get a lot more vehicle attacks in than you would, say, on Scout or Commander or whatever. So... Maybe Magnus could work, too. I haven't played a Magnus in fucking a decade. Yeah, I've played this game mostly on Prime for, like, the past decade now that it's been out. And that's mostly just been through, guide stuff, really. Not really playing the game myself in my own off time. Which you would think I would, considering the fact that this game kicks ass. But I typically just kind of just save it for later until I get to the point where I'm like, I want to play it again so I can, get the guide going. And typically it's just not really a hard game to get back into, even on Prime difficulty. It's like, I got this, I know what I'm doing. I feel like Metal Gear Rising is probably like the same way, where I could probably theoretically get back into playing Revengeance mode without too much trouble if I just tried. Now, getting S ranks, though, for Metal Gear Rising, like, some of them take a little bit more time than others, like Chapter 4, for example, R-04, that one. Well, that's technically Chapter 5, but... Whatever the case. Also, again, I know this should be guide stuff. By the way, you can stop him from summoning clones. I think you have to do loudspeaker to get him to stop. Again, I know this is supposed to be a guide, but at the same time, again, I've done Bumblebee, I've done Sideswipe, I've done Optimus. You can watch those instead. Real quick, update on the Metroid Zero mission idea of playing hard. Or not playing hard. Yeah, I think I talked about that. I was like, you know what? I was going to do it on normal, but I'm going to play on a hard instead so I can prove that I can do it without getting any missile expansions or health expansions or whatever. Health tanks or whatever. And I did it. I did it today. I finished it. So, yeah, Mother Brain took me about 3 hours. Just through all of Turian, and including Mother Brain. And then the Mecha Ridley fight took a little bit of time. Probably like an hour to get him down. So, yeah, I mean... I fucking did it. In terms of difficulty, though, I don't know if I have a good number for it. I changed the number system for Transformers so far. It used to be 3 out of 10, but I dropped it down to 2 out of 10 for each game. I do that from time to time, this game's not really that hard. But anyway, that's it for Chapter 5. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time. So take care, everybody.